Hello, welcome back. We got a new quest last time. What was it? Oh, we only have one one companion quest now. New ruler, no. Contacts, that was it. Small thorn. Route factor 0. I traded outposts has caused problems for just trade for years, but attaching merchants for the system, including those with the mining world of has only some pirates with motivated enough to blast this station with torpedoes. Okay. Let me just check something real quick. No, that's the wrong button. Well, I'm prepared to be yelled at now. I'm sorry, I see heresy, I shoot heresy. Not all of us can think with 5 DP. Anyway, before we get to the next world, I want to do some more, I'm going to go plasteel hunting. 2. But I'm not going to go to the dangerous ones that I've just said screw it. I want to get at least a good haul of plasteel. I just thought you should know that Lady Garrett successfully guided the ship out of the warp's hold and left the Navzert, but intended to going to her chambers. She has headed for yours. Perhaps you will want to prepare for this meeting. At least I'm not being yelled at yet. I'm not being yelled at by an Inquisitor. Greetings, Lord Captain. I meant to inform you that our journey through the warp went well. My navigator's gaze pierced the light of the Astromegarium beyond the tremendous waves of the Sea of Souls. Albeit with some difficulty, the crew and the master helmsman conducted themselves adeptly. My instructions during the jump helped them find their focus and guide the ship without any serious incidents. Trish changed subtly, and she gives a reserved nod. It pleases me to hear this, Lord Captain. I am equally satisfied with your manner of command. I see you have many compelling works of art here, but purchase few paintings. I, for one, do enjoy passing with a little spare time. I have the brush in hand. Why, just recently I created a beautiful voidscape inspired by our travels together. I cannot show it to you quite yet, as it still only exists in my mind's eye, but the imaginary, only you can see it. Really wish that it would. But I must admit, I have never painted for anyone other than myself before. You will have to forgive me, Lord Captain, but I do not think that is such a good idea. These chambers are in need of masterpieces, while I punt merely for my own pleasure. Her figurative smile speaks louder than her polite refusal. One other thing I meant to tell you is that I am exquisite with well-read, and that my knowledge is not limited to the navigator's craft. I am versed in many other scholarly fields, such as history of the subject, or navigators are taught to familiarize themselves with the warp from childhood. Should you require my help, you could say my counsel. My knowledge is extensive, so please do not hesitate. The lock of her hair, while still takes back away from you, scorching you with her disapproving gaze. Of course, the rogue trader makes justification towards the trader does not give you credit. I would ask that you refrain from such future. With this, I kindly permit you to leave your presence, so Captain Kinsey nod and gracefully picks up your cloak and takes your leave. The fuck is that? Nope, all I have is that last load where we were in the ceiling. I don't know what she was thinking about, but I wanted to ask her if she could read these stupid data slates we have! We need somebody... Oh, we did get a thing. We have several things that Ivan cannot read. Makes me glad that when the one I'm doing, I will not actually do any of like the romance stuff. I do not care enough. Did I see that right? My profit factor's at 42. We lost 3 because of that. So that was what that was. It wasn't that we had... we spent... Our captain, I keep reports about manufacturing amongst the various ship systems. This time we're dealing with inexplicable temperature fluctuations. Failure were observed not only in... Tech priests are performing the rite of the machine spirit pacification and remain convinced that the issue was created by the spirits obstinate in defiance. Their reports claim that the incident remains well within the scope of expected performance parameters. Only the last few days, complaints about the terminals have dwindled, but the crew have started whispering that our vessel is haunted. The tech breach assures that the only machine spirits tempers are to blame, are doing nothing to sway these ridiculous rumors. As I said, I am not, when I do my next playthrough, when I do it by myself, I will not be doing any of the romance stuff, because I don't care. As seen with Ivan, I am, according to the technology, the parameters of the system, yes, we know. We have received a vox message from the planet. The agri-world's governor welcomes the rogue trader and reports that she has begun preparations for a formal reception to celebrate the coming of the planet's sovereign. Your subjects are looking forward to your visit. We gained 3, we lost 3, but we did gain a lot of ambient. Yeah, we lost 3 because of just... Yeah, it was for a contract. always, let's save. Yep, these four. I mean, these guys. A lavishly dressed noblewoman in an opulent silk gown watches you with an explicit air, but then gracefully bows her head. Gem-encrusted implants protrude from her arms and neck. I welcome you on behalf of the noble house Vayet Ab Aram. My name is Vision Janice Vayet Ab Aram of Coronas. By the grace of the Emperor and the will of the rogue trader Theodora von Valentius, I serve as planetary governor and imperial command-in-chief of this world. Vizias Vance raises her head slightly. Turns to Arbor and greetings to you, noble Witcherson. It has been years since your last visit to Janus. I am glad to see you again. It's a good sign when a rogue trader actual does not visit a subject planet for a long time. Isn't that correct, Lady Vant? It means the governor is taking care of all matters, and there is no need for this Seneschal to interfere. Lets out a musical laugh. I hear praise in those words, and I thank you for them. In truth, of your arrival at the place of the esteemed Lady Von Valentius is quite unexpected. Such tragic news, I will see to that planet observes a month of mourning.
For Janus!
Fuck, I missed!
Oh, what a glorious spectacle of your demise.
Cease and repent!
One day we're going to go to a world and not be shot at!
Faith without deeds is why I was chosen. As the Emperor commands,
Oh, I guess we technically have already, because we've been to many
do it.
worlds.
As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it.
There we go, one less problem.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
I forgot to equip grenades. Do not go near us with your gun.
Activate calculate fury algorithm.
Oh well.
The undesired running binaric override. Request approved. The undesired condemned.
Pain soothes my soul. A maelstrom of madness. Ah, another one is shattered.
I'm very much glad that I chose this to be the second planet. Thank you, Eldari. What the fuck is this? Why do I have a cherub? What? Why? I don't want this baby. Oh yeah. Fuck you.
Schemes within schemes.
How'd you like this?
Suffering is part of the trial.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
Okay.
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
I know those fails.
Isn't this a job for the crowd? I am a navigator, not a servitor.
What if...
Everyone, step aside. Let's see to it.
Stupid flying baby.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. This is why I was chosen. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands. I'll do it. For you, my Emperor.
Now here comes the painful one. Who's going to shoot?
I'm enraged.
Yeah, we should have known.
High momentum.
First things first.
Vulnerability analysis. Successful. Damage is net.
Fate claims another one. Let's see. A genius. You are marked for demise. Let's see.
Indeed. Target well struck. I will do my duty. No matter the cost. It will be done. I took care of this one. That's not the Seneschal's job. Victory is imminent. One fewer target. My place is at the fore.
Die in grace, at least. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
High momentum.
In the name of House Orcelio, I shall prevail.
I took care of this one. A tactically sound approach.
I won't object to it. I'm done with this one. Naturally.
Faith without deed, none can escape the Emperor's judgment. I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak.
Okay, now let's play who gets shot. No one.
Reduced to dust.
Your Lordship, Emperor Preserve, are you alright? Do not fret, layperson. We have grown used to outrageous slovenliness among the wardens of every world we visit. Much quiet at first is booming with fury by the end of his remark. Pale grayness is strange. This planet's like a noose. It's peasant like a noose. His words are laden with fear for our well-being, and yet his fear for his own even more. Praise the throne. If you would please follow me, I will personally escort you to the governor, where you will have the protection of walls and wardens. No! Okay, yeah, let's get shared the spoils. Let's increase your psi rating as well. Let's do this one. Okay, now we got Pascal, which I know which one I want. every time I get a chance, I will be getting these mechadendrites and his other stuff. But I need to recognize which ones. Okay, so it's available trait, so we'll get one in another 3 levels then. Here we go. Okay, what? Cherub consumable, an artificial biomechanical creation. You cannot put more than one familiar. What other familiar do I have? No! Give me the servo skull!
I have a different perspective.
Actually, in fact, give me neither. I don't want any of these. I don't want a cherub. You have... Great! Give me that back. Fuck off, you little creepers. I don't like the cherubs, and I don't really care for the servo skulls to begin with.
What lies beyond?
But that's more because of what happened on that...
My house would be proud
Curiosity
of me.
unveils itself before me.
Hotshot lasgun.
Patience? My nerves are frayed.
Actually, speaking of which, I want to look something up. He's 3 away from getting to the next level of that. Okay.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Get the fuck out of my way. I'm on the verge of executing someone. For a particular reason or not.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Huh? What's happening now? Okay.
Ocular implant was
There
a
will
worthwhile
be
investment.
no peace in my wake.
We'll pick it up on the way back. Forgive me for so boldly stealing you away from the others. It's just I simply wish to spend just a brief moment admiring the breathtaking nature of this place. Looks into the brightly blue sky. Looks as though it's engulfed in a blazing sunset. Within the station's wall, I never hoped to see anything like this. A sky, or a sea, or green leaves. I have only from the memories of my childhood, or perhaps my mind simply made them up. Even my books, my heart, and mind's blissful escape could do little to help me when a scribe grows so used to what surrounds them each and every day. They begin to take in for granted, and they never think to write just a few lines about it. But for me, to marvel at the precious. Such as every breath of fresh air, her eyes half closed, listening to the sounds of birds hidden from view by the treetops. When the tips of her fingers touch lightly, there starts, but she does not remove her hand. Several minutes pass in timid silence, like mere moments, and eventually she pulls away. This place eases the soul, wouldn't you agree? Step into the sea, me. Glances uncertainly at the playful foam licking the shady shore. Cocks her head to one side. Mischievous dashes of yellow and lilacs are fluttering in the wind like bands all around you. I've never seen you exude such colors before. How unexpected. Gives a quick nod and warily stretches out her long, narrow hand. It is cold to the touch. I don't know what's on the planet, so I don't have anything to fear. The sea, it's so wet and cold, and the tiny pebbles tickle my feet. Sea's seriousness gives way to a genuine wonder. I never thought it would be so agreeable and a little startling. Thank you for encouraging me. Catches herself. Her expression changes in a flash. She gently frees her hand and artfully looks away. The flower then tries to murder you. Gingerly accepts it from your hands. Its petals are like velvet, and the fragrance is both sweet and spicy. A fascinating specimen of the local plant life, and I do not remember seeing the grand of flora and Trans-Express records by Mogos biologist Chilla Ports. She stops herself sheepishly, although I suppose I simply ought to thank you for it. This flower, it's very beautiful indeed. Ready? Yes, of course. Gives as their experience it sees a parting glance and whispers quietly. I think I know what my next painting will be. Okay! Time to learn if we just stepped in...
Another notch!
Ah, we stepped in teeth!
We should deal with this.
Hey look, we got another one of these. Time to skip it across the stones, because it is useless to us.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
As it should be.
Okay.
Why? Haven't I studied hard enough?
Patience! My nerves are frayed!
We're not going that way. Well, we already did go that way. So we only have two ways we can go. We can either go up towards the gazebo, or we could go further down.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Says there's someone to talk to, but I don't see no one.
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
Okay, so the front door is that way. So let's explore this way then.
This Explorer tool is blessed with multifunctionality.
Oh, that's not good. What's over here?
What lies beyond?
I did it.
One step at a time amidst the madness.
I am satisfied with your performance for the maintenance rights on your equipment, although some of your prayers are unfamiliar to me.
They are rites performed by the Imperial Knight pilots of my world. I must commend you on the delicacy with which you expressed your suspicion that I was deviating from dogma.
Lordship, the most honorable Ivan von Valencius, the governor is awaiting you in her office, where she is protected by walls and guards. Would you prefer to meet with her alone or with your entourage? Oh, I don't like that she has a void shield! Oh dear! Is fiercely swiping at a data slate issuing commands in a gilded vox. Upon seeing you, she hurriedly puts away her device, moves her skirt, and drops into a deep curtsy. Your lordship, accept my abject apologies for the reprehensive stunt that spoiled the reception. Even in my worst nightmares, I never have imagined. Thank you, your lordship. Believe me, I am infinitely sorry that the troubles of Janus has reached us even here. The most protected place on Janus. Next to respectful bows her head, and she's doggedly trying not to turn her head towards you, but it is obvious she is watching you through her lowered lashes. You must be referring to Urit, our chief ally in the struggle against the rebels. I am I have turned a blind eye to horrific mutations, given the undoubted advantage she brings. You see, your art comes from the local degenerate stock, and this world and knows Janice like the back of her hand, and she has provided several leads as to where we can find bases and secret storehouses, although I admit that at times I am tempted to send her away from the estate. Her unnaturalness means that speaking with her always leaves me feeling uneasy, such a gaunt, unfeminine figure, and so tall. For shifts, did I hear you correctly? You have a mysterious mutant on your estate at this very moment, one of prodigious height, slight build, and with a supernatural talent for shooting. Did the arrival of this helper never give you pause for thoughts? Allow me to make myself clear. To refuse us help in our circumstances would have been incredibly rash. Yes, mutants are creatures apparent to the Emperor, and they should be exterminated, but sometimes humanity makes exception for those who serve the Imperium. I'm not concerned that your aide is a mutant. I am far more concerned that she may be nothing of the sort. Turns to you, Ivan. Would like to meet this helper without delay, out of professional interest. If you wish to speak to your vet, you will find her outside in the oratory, most likely by the gazebo. You mean the gazebo we tried talking to? She prefers to keep her distance from others. Several months ago, uprisings broke out on Janice. I was not even notified at first. Gripping worms are for wardens to worry about. Alas, I only learned what was happening after the miscreant began targeting noble families. It shakes her head, and then it becomes apparent that what the Ministerium's accounts are referred to as unrest were de facto organized attacks on infrastructure and society leaders. They have already brought 13 agri complexes to a halt and have now moved over to assassination attempts. My wardens are doggedly tracking down the rebels, but their leader are slipping from our grasp yet again. I risk arguing you, Lord, but this is nothing compared to shamelessly deceiving you. Let us consider the situation disproportionately. Even the most talented logistics expert of the Ministerium are unable to guarantee stable tides when shuttles are wary of landing at the spaceport, and the terrified peasants are indulging at a dangerous minority within their ranks until the usual order of things is restored in Janus. Any trade is not impossible. Considering what has occurred, your visit is a true blessing. You see, Janus does not have its own fleet. We could organize a planet-wide search if we had ships at our disposal like yours, your lordship. Perhaps you will find a way to support your subjects in their hour of need. I have even approximate coordinates where it will be sufficient to have ground forces and crew works together and hunt down the enemy. Inclines your head. I am immeasurably grateful for your assistance, your lordship. If there are any of those who attacked the estate had survived, then perhaps they have been a valuable source of information, but you make an example of them for the rest of the foolish rabble. Glances at the fox. Incidentally, I did overhear the wardens talk about some kind of stranger in the area. Besides that, we still do not know who let these reprobates into the estate. The person who did it might also know something. I, as well as my retinue, are at your service. My secrecy is checking the staff. as we speak and removing all traces of the attack from the estate. An esteemed Magos, who is responsible for efforts on the front, is also here. He happened to be visiting this week to deliver his personal report, and of course this is my aid in the war against the rebels. I have no doubt she will be delighted to share her knowledge of Janus with you, your lordship. One of my ladies in waiting, Amelia. Amelia performs secretarial duties and helps me to remain in constant contact with those families who are most responsible for the prosperity of Janus. I trust my advisor implicitly, and over time, Amelia has become no mere faithful companion, but almost my shadow. Losing her would be like losing my right hand. Drops to a low curtsy. To bathe in the light of your greatness is a true honor. Janus is a remarkable world, both in terms of a vast potential and in terms of the world that was carried out to transform into the work to transform it into an agri-world. House Fayette has ruled over Janus for many generations, and each new governor has, without fail, contributed to the planet's taming. This world was once a wild planet full of xenobeasts and utterly unsuitable for growing anything. To this day, despite our best efforts, Janus regularly rebels against us. Earthquakes, tsunamis, the emergence of new pests, and weeds that invade the aerial lands. Sometimes I cannot help but think that this world is endowed with the consciousness of a conspicuous and stubborn child who likes to spoil everything that we have achieved. Infrastructure's back of beyond. This place is a real dump. What do you all do here for fun when we have free time, that is? We will not have free time. Where are we?
There will be no peace in my wake.
I don't think we saw... whatever. Let's just get out of here.
Patience? My nerves are frayed.
Okay. We're just going to go in the other direction.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Hearing your footsteps, the elderly servant grabs an injector and stabs it into his arm. The area around the needle immediately starts turning black. You're too late, Stags. I'm the master of my own fate. But when he gets a better look at you, the man drops the injector in astoundment and seems poised to prostrate himself before you. It's you, your lordship. The god emperor must have brought you here. I beg you, help the rebels and save Janus. He doubles over, hugging himself, and is wrecked by coughing that leaves his lips with blood. Forgive me, your lordship. If only I had known it was you. My eyes deceived me. We were little time now, but I swear I'll tell you everything. See, that's the old man. The tech presenters nerve toxin. The inevitable vital functions is expected, and it's no more than 60 seconds. Silently clicks emits by the visor indicates an ongoing pic recording. In the name of the Golden Throne, your lordship, show mercy on the humble workers. The salt of Janus, save them. If there's evident, the untouchable governor and leader of the nobility is creating something monstrous behind closed doors. She uses the Imperium's intent as a smokescreen and purports to be a scholar, but her actions are poisoning our planets. Did you know that the settlements that fall to pay their due tithes on time have been allowed to pay with people instead? They even deliver them and order, sometimes old folks, sometimes children. He lowers his voice to a whisper and leans towards you. I've seen those people. I've seen them being delivered to the estate, and then they never seen or heard them again. They go into the secret rooms, and they do not come out again, your lordship, ever. Peasants who were taken to 55 to serve for those were never seen or heard from ever from again either. They became loyal servants and told for the good of a good dynasty. Why should they ever return to their filthy follies? Lets out a moan. The dark stains of his arms seems to creep through his veins until his arms and neck are littered with black. The servant's breath quickens and becomes a river. Hidden chambers steep within the palace. I've never been inside, thankfully. The servants who are allowed in, the ones the governor trusts, they change. She changes them, pretties them up, defiles them. You accuse the rogue traitors, appointed governor of heresy. If your words are false, they themselves are testament to heresy, but if what you say is true, if it's true, then your sacrifice will be your credit, and he, my good man, utters the last words with an impassioned conviction. I swear I'm not lying. Pray for me, holy sister, for me and for Janice. Jakes, I am not sure I'll last long enough to answer all your questions. I'll tell you exactly what I was told by the people who contacted me. These tithes, some settlements here already switched to paying with people. They say the amenable settlements get special treatment from the governor's dogs. They arrange for medicine to be supplied to the settlement, then security, and then they completely isolate them. All contact between those inside the settlement and the outside world is cut off. One lad managed to get out. He's the one who told me all this. That the people are rotting alive in there. Strange growths, yellow eyes, sticking like dead bodies. The worst looking ones are rounded up and taken away. The fellow who escaped, he seemed fine, but when a couple of days of the rebels picking him up, he continued seeing monsters inside of people. They had to lock him up away from the other folks, the poor sot, and then his wrists. Your lordship, if you'll permit a dying man to make one last trip, don't tell anyone that I was the one who unlocked the doors. If you do, they'll go after my family and my home. Please save us. Save Janice.
What lies beyond?
Interesting.
They will see. Oh, yes, indeed. They all will see.
Iliad Lenevus greets you, Elantark.
Regrettable news. This creature is not a mutant as the locals assumed, but a representative of the Eldari, one of the myriad enemies of humanity. You should not trust this creature. Do not communicate with it any longer than necessary.
There is no need to mutilate my language, monkey. I speak yours well enough to converse with Elantark without a translator. And since you have discerned my path, I will be direct in my speech. My soul is nothing kin to yours. Your kind call us Xenos, as if we are all as one. I came here to protect the Lilithon by assisting the governor against her enemies. Will you hear me, or be blinded to sense by your precepts?
Reckless.
Helix, I'm going to drown you in that river over there if you don't shut up.
Must I remind you, Master Van Calox, that the warrant endows rogue traders with the sacred right to have dealings with Xenos when necessary? That exceptional memory of yours seems to have let you down.
I have banished the shadow of doubt from your thoughts regarding my nature. Now you will answer my question. Why have you sought me out? This world is in distress. I wish to protect it from unnecessary suffering. There is a malevolence here that drives your kin down the path of violence. Only that they threaten the established order. There is much risk to this world should the ruler die.
Face is unreadable, but you detect a strange tension in her voice as though she is choosing her words carefully.
But you are not asking for help, Elantark. You are merely asking questions, the answers to which are either unimportant or wreathed in shadow. Explore this place. Speak to those who know. A simple task for you, and an insurmountable challenge for me, since my very appearance provokes fear and suspicion. When you learn anything, tell me. Perhaps then my answers will be helpful to your search. So be it. I will go with you.
With all due respect, are you sure this is the right decision? We know nothing about this Xenos, or why she has wormed her way into the Governor's confidence. As far as I can tell, she isn't especially keen to help us, and yet, for some obviously dark reason, she has decided to take part in our investigation.
My judgments and choices are for me alone, Monkey. If uniting with your master will bring peace to the Lilithon, then it is the true path. Do not get in my way if you value your next breath.
Here's the thing. There's certain worlds that the Eldari, like, I think they're called, like, garden worlds or something. So for all I know, this could be a garden world.
You have not yet spent enough time among humans if you think threats will dispose me more favorably toward you. The decision is yours, rogue trader. But let me be clear. I will terminate your pet Xenos at the first sign of her non-compliance.
I am ready, Elantark. Let us go for...
Okay. No. The choices. He is helpful. He is helpful. She is helpful. He is helpful. She is very helpful. You wanna know what? There. Are we about to have 3 assassins? Everybody an assassin. Let's check what you have. Yeah, you have a sniper. Ours is better, though. She can't use this stuff because she's an Eldari. There you go, have fun with that. We don't need to worry about your alignment. Wait a minute. Fuck! Oh no, that's us. Ah, thank God. Okay, so she's a craft world. She's an outcast. Okay, what abilities do you have? My sights gains, additional dodge. Oh, considering that she only has 2, might as well just grab them anyway. Now let's get you in agility. See, bounty hunter gains damage against the prey for 2 seconds. Oh. She has 5. Okay. Since that's been burning a hole in my pocket. She can have that until we can get him his proficiency thing. The only reason why I chose to keep our navigator with us is because she is very useful at getting rid of warp stuff. Secondly, since our diviner is gone, she will have to do things with emotion that can be very useful in situations.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Green Lordship, let me here at your service. Scholars and gain shows of bionic greetings. The series of sounds issued by sounds much longer and more influential than those of Pascal. According to data stored in my cogitator, all influential nodes for food harvesting represented. Technomats in the total number amounts to 253. Correction, based on the latest data, the figures is 211 units. By the order of the Adeptus Mechanics, I have been entrusted with the arrangement of the Adeptus Minister in place in calculating data and analyze information about the planet during the process of subjugation is the will of the Imperium. Be blessed that brother your diligence and the diligence of those like you turn anarchy into order and bestows classification to knowledge, such as this body, the tech-free spouse, respectively turn. Clearly a little startled. Your situation on the planet is assessed as stable. The process of the prospects is stated as encouraging. See, here's the thing. I'm going to trust the old guy.
There will be no peace in my wake.
The only reason why is from her testimony, the Eldari that we have, there apparently is some sort of corruption or something. Secondly, we've seen what that old man described. And if he was indeed, well, to the meeting. What? Really, Ivan? You speak if you actually believe the claims of those wretched peasants. I do not ask anyone to pay the tithes in human bodies. I am reducing the burden of the settlements, which has suffered as a result of unsuccessful experiments involving enriched food, and I am gathering the worst afflicted subjects, those who are no longer capable of work. For further study, some among my circle would call such concern for underclass weakness. Theobald and Fleck tried to limit the effects my powers had on the lowborn servants of 5. The station laboratorium ran experiments on those who had the misfortune of losing their minds because of my gift. These tests increased our servants' lifespan, and they joined Felix's side. What did they grow? Mainly health-sent flint corn and red turnips. Apart from that, in the southern hemisphere, we set aside vast tracts of land for the Rock's population. And, of course, I cannot fail to mention the several thousand acres of tilled land given over to cultivating fermented fruit for personal use and limited exports. As she's... Now I'm getting a different picture here. It could be that there's a corruption within the land itself.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
So here's my thought. That there's something from the Final Dawn, or the Zechian believers here, that are corrupting the food stores somehow, and the planet itself at large, turning people into mutants. And then eventually what I would say, if they got enough exposure. But from what I can tell, it might be that what she's doing is found out in his experiment. Man wearing a cloak of Adeptus Ministerium is revealing information on a dead slate, while this quietly wearing mechanical arm fills a long scroll with writing. Upon noticing you, the man stretches his thin lips into a smile and defensively bows, the light in his eyes and a servo skull hovering over his radiant right shoulder gently pulsates. Your Lordship, What an honor it is to address you in person. Allow me to introduce myself. Preference of the official agriculture. I will preserve the records of our conversation forever. Looks at Yvel and offers a strange smile. A highly experiential individual. After today's grateful event, I am beginning to hold her talents and esteem. Barely even mutants have been faithful. Moreover, these particular abilities could be an interesting subject of the study of the mantis biologist. That enlarged head shape, those eyes, judging by the skull, which give to me, descend on footfalls. Such developmental anomalies on Janus are not a quirk of nature, but some kind of inherent trait. What did you say? Madame, have my words upset you? I'm certain your kinsman would be delighted to learn that people wish to make pretty pressure paper out of his remains. And besides, I could be wrong in the nature of his origins. Remarkable item, I must say, a true anomaly. One moment. Nearby container draws out a parcel which he immediately unwraps. Here it is. I believe the finished piece was intended to be given as a gift to the governor, but under the current circumstances, I doubt I will be able to send it to Footfall anytime soon. Stares at the skull in silence. You can see her jaw working under her delicate skin. After a few seconds, she abruptly turns away. The actress reached towards with interest, seeming to unnerve him a little. Adequately preserved. It is a petty. It is empty inside. It could have become a proper servo skull held, but further to unorthodox. Yes, of course, of course. Just go to the container. Alas, your lordship, rebellions have caused us too many problems in recent times. The rebels are interfering with the established process, interrupting supplies and sabotaging the serf's work. A few nobles have even been killed, and worst of all, some of the victims occupied the patient posts. Until the replacements pass their checks, complete all their forms, and go through the official appointment procedures, important paperwork is going unsigned. This bureaucrat catastrophe. The absence of a required signature is, of course, the most horrifying thing about this situation. Indeed it is. Oh, there's my alarm. Financial reports, logistics diversions may weigh bills for food, shipments, without the signatures of the most recent and now deceased heads of House Zacharias. Shipments to shipments and Aegis 12 has been stopped. The heirs are still dealing with the transfer of holds, and incoming reports tell us that the quarters of the worker and his affected statements have already died of starvation, while most of those remaining has left the perimeter and have not yet returned to their assigned places. If there's things continue in this vein, I do not even imagine what it could lead to. There are worlds that are ravaged by war for generations. Generations, your lordship, like the deranged planet by the nameless star. So close to our peaceful system, the inhabitants were supposedly living under the patronage of rogue trader Winterskill. I shudder to think of what he has created there. The rebels are well-armed and well-trained, but more the governor's advisors are inclined to think that the instigators of the rebellions are very familiar with the planet's terrain and climate. My ordnance are going through the registration records day and night, looking for individuals who have completed military training but have so far upon the evening to defy the schedule. Of course, I would be delighted to furnish you with all the information I have. In the last several months, 15 organized attacks and 7 terrorist attacks have been perpetrated. Irrigation equipment have been sabotaged, and sectors 3 to 5 transport routes to 7, 4, 14, and also, I suppose this will not tell you much, please, With a fussy gesture, he presses several buttons in a desolate screen, and three-dimensional map and coordinates of the attacks appear on your cogitator. The data is like superbly connected in the game. Oh, somebody left a voicemail for me. That's new. Normally no one who calls me leaves a voicemail. And the map largely displays the actions of the rebels. At first glance, there seems to be no logic to their campaign, but after analyzing the data featuring the terrain, you notice a clear system and a geographical pattern to their attacks. World Shapers. So a vector of movement for the rebels, making it possible to narrow down the search.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Okay, now let's go up here and see if there's anyone here we need to talk to. Nope. Noble. Noble. Return the void ship.
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
Do not go to the building. One of the terrorists from today's attacks has holed himself up in there. He could be dangerous. Ready to report, Your Lordship. We conducted a sweep of the area after attack. All the assassins were arrested or neutralized except for one. He sealed himself inside. He's already injured 2 wardens who tried to reach him, but there's no need to worry. We'll poison him and clear the last dregs of dirt from the estate. I have only one question, officer. Why have you not done it or already done it? The rogue trader is here, and the longer you delay, the more you put his life needlessly at risk. It is inexcusable, Your Lordship. The barrel of poison were only just delivered, but we're ready to begin now. Are you sure it's not exactly safe, Your Lordship? As you wish, Your Lordship. Piss off, you won't take me alive. Better to put a bullet in my brain and then let the governor's dogs get their hands on me. It takes you half a minute to figure out the mechanisms. With a soft click, the door opens and allows you to enter. Inside is poorly lit, but you spot a person standing in the far corner. He is desperately gripping a discharged las gun in his hand. At the sight of you, his eyes widen in recognition and fear. It can't be the rogue trader. Your Lordship, have mercy. You are the sovereign of this planet. Only you have the power to save us. From Governor, everybody here knows that she's doing to us. We've put up with it for a long time, hoping that somebody would intervene and help us, but nobody ever did. She's turned the whole planet into a slaughterhouse. People are running up like rocks from the settlements, supposedly to go to the palace, and then they're never seen again. Her servants pour something over the fields, and then people lose their minds. They start hearing voices and seeing evil spirits, and while we are dying, she's sitting behind her white walls and feasting on our bones. Here's the thing. I don't think it's her. She doesn't seem to have that head of that sort of head on her shoulders. Secondly, I have a feeling that this isn't just her. I feel like This is how it's working. Somebody in her retinue is manipulating things behind the scenes. And the one who's organizing the rebels are also on her side. So we're having two-prong attack from someone Chaos affiliated here. Someone within her retinue and another person working with the rebels. Sacrifices, madness, pain, and death. Even so primitive a society as this, such rites seem senseless, not worthy of such efforts. What is this, a random quirk of nature, or something darker? I was taught that peasants have a tenacity to exaggerate their suffering due to sloth or weakness, but this young man, vermilion threads pierce every cremate of his body, and gray shackles bind his hands, feet, and neck. There are no lies in his word, only terror and desperation without end. Yes, others are going feral and attacking their loved ones, and then there's spoilers. People say that in some settlements, well, they stopped upholding the law altogether, imperial law and the law of basic human decency. People are turning into animals. Your Lordship, I beg you, don't ask me that. I can't sell out my brethren. It's over for me, but the others, I won't betray them. As long as you keep your word. I've never been to their camp. None of us have. Only the chief saw one person from their base. He came a few times, bringing weapons and orders. He said he represented a greater force than we could imagine. And he said the governor's dogs will pay for their reprisal in the settlements. But that's not why they're hidden. They keep their distance from ordinary folk. We have it all worked out so that if anyone gets caught, the others aren't caught with them. But I swiped the chief's fox, I thought. After I killed the governor, I could use the message coordinates to find the base and hide out there. That's everything I know, Your Lordship. Dried berries, wrinkled, fibrous berries covered in short fuzz.
Operation successful.
Your curse. Well, we're just going to give it to you anyway. The only thing you're not getting is the bayonet knife. I want to give that to a certain someone.
Patience! My nerves are frayed!
More of these dried berries.
What lies beyond?
It seems that we can leave the estate through somehow. Because this very much seems like it's more than just... Seems like there's two sides playing about here, trying to get as much damage done as they can. Your blessings for the examination, Magos. Waits respectfully until Pascal nods. So hear distant clicks in his cerebral cortex Proceeds this information. Creeping Creeweed, a typical plant of the Western Hemisphere. We have studied the possibility of industrial cultivation, but the process was found to be inefficient due to the specific requirements of the soil, which is found in the right composition only in the archipelagos of the planet.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Alright, I serve as administrative parents on the planet and serve as secretary. I am responsible for logistics related to supplying the planet of this dynasty and timely. Oh, your lordship, our supply shipments are all in order. All foodstuff and other items are ready for export and are simply waiting the arrival of the transport ships. However, given the current circumstances of the planet, yes, I hope. Protocol forum. Okay. We have this fox thing, but we don't have anybody who can do anything with it. Unless I missed somebody.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Sadly, we failed that, but it does look relatively empty. Oh, there was one person up here we didn't talk to. No, that was just a noble.
They will see. Oh, yes, indeed. They all will see. Patience? My nerves are frayed.
Okay, we're going to do one last talkie to her.
What lies beyond?
I don't deny it. Some of our experiments exact a higher toll on the population than others. You see, recently one of the noble families of Janus has taken on the difficult task of enhancing the attributes of our workers. So far, it has involved introducing experimental supplements into their food and mental conditioning and monitored settlements. Sometimes production are disrupted, and parts of the population suffer from side effects. Specialties of the Graz family would have better best to inform you of this topic, but alas, they are currently engaged in the field. Okay, now I'm back. Okay, and I will start heading towards the ship now.
Tapestry of a world.
But yeah,
I am the rogue thread.
now we have a damaged rebel Vox, which we could probably bring it to the Foxmaster to get that sorted out. But yeah, I'm going to get towards the, make my way towards the ship, and then we'll call the episode there. But yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of a break from the next time I record this. Maybe a day or two. But yeah, since from what I can tell, we cannot find anyone else of her retinue to talk to. But it seems we somewhat were correct that there is another house. In fact, even maybe that maid with her that is behind their side of the corruption. Yeah, that'll be it for this episode, and I'll see you all in the next.